Good morning out there, my lovely students. This is teacher Prashant back with another video on linear graph, and this video is linear graph part 13. And this video will be the last video of the linear graph series, and after this we will start exponential notation. So let's go have a quick look what we will be learning in this video today. So in today's video we will learn why gradient slope of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals of each other, and also why the product of slopes of perpendicular lines is equal to -1. So let's start with why the gradient or slope of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocal of each other. So let's take a set of perpendicular lines on this graph. Let's take this line and let's take another line intersecting the first one in 90 degrees. So first things first. This is 90, this is 90, this is 90, and this is 90. So we know that these two lines are actually perpendicular. So let's give a name to this line. Let's give a name A, B, C, and D. So this point of origin will be our point E. Now, let's find out the gradient of our line AB. Okay, so what will be the slope of line AB? Slope of line AB. So to find out the slope of line AB, what we need to do is find out the change in y divided by change in x. So this will be our change in y and this will be our change in x. So let's give a name to this point. So AB, CDE, F. Okay, so this point, let's call it point F. So our gradient will be change in y, which is EF, divided by our change in x, which is FB. This point is B. So FB. Okay, so what about the gradient of our line CD? But before we move on to CD, keep in mind that the line AB has a negative gradient. Why? Because this line is sloping downwards to the right, and when it slopes downwards to the right, the value of y coordinate decreases. So this will be minus EF divided by FB. So let me write it again. Minus EF divided by FB. This will be a negative slope because the value of y is being decreased. Now what about our line CD? Our line CD is moving upwards to the right direction. So let's find out the slope of our line CD. Okay, so slope of line CD, I'm sorry for my horrible handwriting. The slope of line CD will be positive. Why? Because x is also increasing and y is also increasing. If you have a look at the line CD, it is going upwards. If it is moving upwards, means the vector will be positive, which means the y value will never be negative because the y value is going up. And the x value is moving to the right side, which means that the x will be positive. So there will be positive change in y divided by positive change in x. So there will be no negative gradient of our line CD. So let's find out the gradient of a line CD. Okay, so this will be our change in x and this will be our change in y. Now let's give a name to this point really quick. Let's give this name G. Okay, so the slope of line CD will be change in y, which is GD. Let's give this point D. So GD divided by GE. Now, since we know that the gradient of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocal of each other, before we move on to actually proving why, let's have a look at our two triangles. So let's write this as triangle number 1 and triangle number 2, and let's focus on the 90-degree angle. Now, I can say that triangle number 1 and triangle number 2 are actually congruent. So I can say that triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2. Why I can say that? Because of the test side angle side. Look at this. This side is 2 units. This side is 2 units. This side is 4 units. This side is 4 units, followed by the same 90-degree angle. So if we test these two triangles by SAS, which is side angle side, these two triangles will be congruent. So we can write that the triangle EGD is congruent to triangle EFB. Now, since these two angles are congruent, we can prove that these two perpendicular lines will have a slope of negative reciprocal of each other. Now, let's have a look at the slope of line AB. Slope of line AB is minus EF divided by FB, which is basically change in y divided by change in x. Now, EF is minus because change in y is minus because y is decreasing in case of a line AB. Now, since they are negative reciprocal of each other, we can say that EF is equal to GE and FB is equal to GD. Now, where this statement came from? If these two slopes are negative reciprocal of each other, it means EF, which is our numerator, will be equal to GE, which is our denominator, and our GD of line CD, which is the numerator, will be the denominator of our line AB. That's why we can say that EF equal to GE and FB equal to GD. Now let's have a look at our triangles. Triangles EGD is congruent to triangle EFB. Okay, so EF equal to GE. So this is our side EF, and this is equal to GE or EG. So this is proof that these two sides are equal. What about FB? Now FB is equal to GD, which is right here. FB is equal to GD. So that's why we can say that these two sides are equal, and these two sides are the sides of these two lines which are perpendicular to each other. Why they are negative reciprocal of each other? Because these two parallel lines will have a negative slope and also a positive slope. So line AB will have a slope of negative, and line CD will have a positive slope. Our change in y of line CD is 4 units, and our change in y of line AB is 2 units. And our change in x of line CD is 2 units, and our change in x of line AB is 4 units. So we can see right here that they are negative reciprocal of each other because one line is moving downwards to the right and other line is moving upwards to the right. Hence, one line will have a negative slope, which is our line AB, and other line will have a positive slope, which is our line CD. So that's the reason why perpendicular lines have a negative reciprocal slope of each other. Now let's move on to our second point. Why the slope of the perpendicular lines is equal to -1. So our line AB and our line CD. So the slope of line AB will be change in y divided by change in x, which is change in y will be 2 and change in x will be 4. So let's find out the slope of line AB. So the slope of line AB will be change in y divided by change in x. Our change in y is 2 units and our change in x is 4 units. So this will be 1/2. Since the slope of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocal of each other, the slope of our line CD will be -2/1. But let's find out what will be the slope of our line CD. Let's find out the slope of line CD. The slope of our line CD is right here, which means our change in y is equal to 4 and our change in x is equal to 2. So it's not hard to find out. So change in y divided by change in x, which is 4 divided by 2, which is 2/1. But we have to keep something in mind, that change in y of line AB is actually negative, because from a y at a value 2, y is getting down at a value of 0. So y is actually decreasing. So that's why this will be -2/4, which will be -1/2. That's why the negative reciprocal of -1/2 will be 2 will be the numerator and then 1 will be the denominator. Since the first fraction is negative, the reciprocal will be positive 2/1. Now let's learn that why the product of slopes of perpendicular lines is equal to -1. Because minus times plus is always minus. And the product of reciprocal fractions is always equal to 1. So let's write -1/2 times plus 2/1. So -1 times plus 2 will be -2. Divided by 2 times 1 will be 2. Is equal to 2 times 1, and 2 times 1 equal -1/1 equal -1. Simple as that. One more time, why the slope of perpendicular lines is equal to -1? Because minus time plus will be minus, and reciprocal fractions when multiplied together are always equal to 1. So thank you so much for your time watching this video, and please consider subscribing if you are interested in learning maths content on my channel, and please hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new lesson. And in our next video, we will start the exponential notation series. But before I end this series, which is linear graph, if you guys have any problem or any question or anything which you don't understand regarding linear graph, always feel free to drop a comment down into the comment section, and I'm sure I'll be there to help you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Thank you so much.